Hey there, everyone. Jerisha Hawk here. And today we're going to be talking about how to not let the pain of your problems distract you from your purpose. This is something that I personally have been struggling with and figured out be a good thing for us to talk about before we enter into the new year. Allowing fears, doubts, worries, how to really handle and deal with those issues, but then how to make sure that we're not allowing those pains of our problems, our struggles to be the distraction from really holding us back from what it is that we've been called to achieve next year, but what it is that's been placed on our heart to really overcome and accomplish next year. So if you guys are popping in right now, catching this live or in the replay, hop in the comments and say, hey, let me know that you're here. And then just so I know who's on, make sure you guys can hear me and see me good, okay? So just pop in the comments and let me know. All right, so I'm just double checking. I normally don't sit over here when I do my live videos, but I'm like, I want to change up the scenery a bit. Hi, Chanel. Hey, Vienna. Hi, Rosanna. Hey, everybody. Hey, Destiny. Hey, girl. Hey. Hi, Tanya. Hey, everyone. Okay, so let me know if any of you guys feel this. This is something that's been really coming up for me. Thinking about sometimes we get so caught up in our problems. We get so caught up on what's going on in life, like what we don't have, comparing ourselves to what other people have, looking at just all the things that you feel like you're lacking. I'm not this enough, I haven't grown enough, my business isn't enough, I don't have enough people on my email list. You're constantly, sometimes we can get caught up into just feeling overwhelmed by our lack of, or feeling overwhelmed by the personal problems, maybe even business problems that get placed onto our life, that sometimes those problems actually paralyze us. And the overwhelming sensation of that fear or worry or doubt gets us to a point where we just don't move. Or we kind of just will sulk in our sorrows and make it kind of start on this spiral wind of excuses as to why we can't get back up, or as to why we can't achieve whatever it is that we have a vision for achieving, or for whatever it is that we desire to accomplish next year. Can anybody relate to any of that? And feel free, this is a safe space, share whatever pains or problems, struggles that you might be currently facing right now that may be holding you back. And I just kind of wanted to be transparent and share this with you guys also, that all of us here all have problems, regardless if you are homeless, regardless if you make $30,000 a year, regardless if you are married, regardless if you are single, regardless if you have kids, regardless if you don't have kids, regardless if you are making $100,000 a year, regardless if you're making $1 million a year. Every single person on this planet has problems. And the problems that you may be experiencing might be different from somebody else's. But everybody, the thing that we all have in common is we all have struggles, whether that's internal challenges or external circumstances, but we all have problems. And I think that's something we sometimes forget that. So especially in this online space, it's so easy to kind of get caught up in comparing yourself, or saying oh, if I only had what she had, then I'd be able to achieve whatever it is that I wanted to achieve. Or it just if only her life looks so perfect, I wish my life was like hers. Or, I'm married, I'm single, I wish I had a boyfriend, I wish I was married. Or, I'm skinny, I wish I could gain weight. Or I'm overweight, I wish I could lose weight. We're constantly, at least for me, I noticed that I've been kind of doing this lately, comparing myself and looking at all the lack of, and focusing so much on the pain of my problems, where it's actually getting to a point where it's somewhat distracting me from my purpose and distracting me from what I know I've been called to do. And can anybody relate to this? Or am I the only one in the boat? Vienna said, I always feel like I can do more. I know I'm making progress, but there's always more I can do in my business, at home, my health, everything above. Yeah, just constantly feeling like you're just never enough. Constantly feeling like there's just more to be done that could have been done. You're always looking at your to-do list and checking everything off. And you may knock off everything on half your to-do list, but then it's you only focus on the stuff that you didn't actually accomplish. And one thing that I've been learning, I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, we were talking about our faith and talking about how we will go through problems in life and that we will sin in life. But how does that get us, how do we get judged, or how do we get viewed as like how good we are as Christians or how good we are as humans? And one thing that I never really thought about it from this perspective, but it just it impacted me differently when I communicated this yesterday, is that like we're human. Like we are messy. We are going to make mistakes. We are all going to like have problems in life. But it's like, how can you get to a space in your life where you have peace amongst your problems and not looking at, because I have problems, God is punishing me, or because I have problems, like I'm not enough, or I can't have whatever X, Y, or Z is, but really flipping the script and making sure that you understand that like your problems serve a purpose. Your problems serve a purpose. And if you are going through a struggle in life, personal, interpersonal, emotional, physical, like relational, external, regardless of what your problem is, it serves a purpose. And I started looking back on my own experiences in life about what problems I've had and how at the time, you know, the pain of those problems honestly were serving as a distraction. But you start to understand and how can you leverage your problems to actually help you accelerate your success to actually achieving your purpose. Like, are y'all like, let me know if you guys are resonating with me on this. But I think back to like when I was in, so a quick timeline. I grew up without my parents. My mom left when I was 2. I left my dad around middle school age. My grandmother not raised me after that. Huge problem. I looked at that was such a struggle. Like it really challenged me in understanding my self-worth and self-value as a woman. And that spiraled into a bunch of other issues that came because of my parents not being present in my life. However, my parents not being present in my life was the thing that actually afforded me the opportunity to go to college and get like the largest amount of financial aid that was available, because I was considered an independent student. So I had enough financial aid to actually cover my college, well, most of my college tuition. That problem served a purpose. Not having my parents was actually the thing that afforded me access to the opportunity to go and get a higher education and to become an engineer. Problem turned into like it served a purpose. And for the 21 years of my life, for the 22 years of my life, like I didn't see that. Like it took me so long to get to a space of like just forgiving my parents and also forgiving myself, you know, getting to a space where I could understand that like my parents are human too, and they are messy just like I am, and they're imperfect like I am. And like instead of just blaming them for all the things that they didn't do, for the people that they weren't, also like giving them grace and actually like thanking them for being exactly who they were. Because if they were anything different, I may not have had the route of how I got to where I am now. My journey would have been completely different. Like, you guys understand what I'm saying? Or like when I senior year of college, I ran out of my financial aid. So I was struck again with yet again another problem. And I was so close to graduation. I'm like, I have 1 year left. I have no idea how I'm about to come up with this 12 or 13 grand to actually graduate. I did not know my financial aid could run out. So that problem that I had that afforded me the opportunity to get the access or like the money, the financial aid to go to college now ran out. So here I was again with another problem. Like I don't want to be a college dropout. If I do not graduate, I'm actually going to graduate with over $50,000 in debt if I don't actually get this degree and actually get a job to actually help pay off all this debt that I just acquired because of my financial aid. Like, again, a huge problem. But that problem was the thing that started me into the world of entrepreneurship. If it weren't for me running out of financial aid, I never would have started that business in college called Lovestruck, which was my first like legitimate online business. And I built this online business not knowing I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, at the time, you know, I just had my smartphone. You know, I was running this business off of Instagram. I, you know, found a supplier out of Thailand and started buying dresses wholesale. So I'd buy a dress for $30, $50 and then sell it online for $200 or $300. Like that problem of running out of financial aid, which before having financial aid was the purpose for my parents not being there. But now I ran out of financial aid and I was struck again with another problem. That problem ignited me into the world of entrepreneurship. And within 14 months, you know, I made over $50,000, paid my tuition, went to Thailand, bought the car that I have now cash. And it's like that opened up a whole nother realm of possibility for me that I would not have seen I would not have discovered that purpose if it weren't for that problem existing in the first place. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, do y'all hear what I'm saying? So often in life, like, we are regardless of where you're at, regardless of who you are, regardless if you are black, white, female, male, brown, green, gay, straight, like young, old, regardless of what your like current situation is, we all have problems. But understand that like all the problems that we identify or categorize as failure or problem or struggle, it is here to serve a greater purpose. And it is our responsibility to not be distracted by the pains of our problems, but be able to look at those problems and understand like, yes, this is happening to me. Yes, it might suck, but really like, how can I be leveraging this moment here of like humility? How can I be leveraging this moment here, that this obstacle, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And how can I leverage this to actually gain momentum for me to discover my purpose? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? And like when I was talking to my home, like, you know, talking to my friend about this yesterday, it was like, really, like, wow. I think sometimes we take for granted that the problems and struggles that we actually have, and we always look at it as like this such a negative thing, and we allow it to paralyze us, when in actuality, it's like, this thing is here for a reason. And sometimes we can just be so blinded by our ego that we can't see the purpose of what this problem is here for. But I'm so thankful for every single problem that I had in my life, because it's like that problem is the thing that guided me to the purpose that I'm living in now. Like if I never would have ran out of financial aid, who knows how long it might have been before I discovered the purpose and like my gift in entrepreneurship. Who knows if that ever would have like realized, or how much longer it would have taken for it to realize. Because getting that taste of being able to have on-demand money, where like by me showing up and like being visible and solving problems and putting together a strategy, I was able to kind of control and dictate what my income was. I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be like in my dream apartment, quit my corporate job, left my engineering salary to build a business that's making 3 times my corporate income in less than a year. Like I wouldn't be living in my purpose. And like it took all those problems over the last 27 years of life, growing up without my parents, struggling with worth and value as a woman because I did not have my parents in my life, you know, going through the challenges of all the men issues that I've had, you know, being sexually assaulted and being a survivor of that, like running out of financial aid, like back to back to back to back, problem after problem after problem after problem. All those things were God strategically designed. God strategically allowed me and afforded me the opportunity to experience. So it would help me understand and like develop myself as a woman, develop myself as the person that I needed to become in order to manage and maintain the purpose that He's placed on my life now. Because to whom much is given, much is required. So the higher you move up and like the more that you start to accelerate and elevate in your levels of achievement in life, and you start to ascend and you start to like accomplishing more, you know, you understand that as you continue to rise, more is required of you. But you need to be able to like, you are never going to get to the next level of abundance if you are not prepared to manage and maintain it once you get there. Like who cares if you get there, but if you can't keep it? Who cares if you get there if you just fall right back down? And sometimes we have to, not even sometimes, like in life, we have to go through the pain of the problems and the struggles to strengthen us. Like it's just like kind of when you break a bone. Yeah, it sucks. Yes, it's painful. It normally costs a bunch of money because you got to go to the hospital. It's super inconvenient because you might not be able to walk, you may not be able to move your arm, or whatever it is, you break a bone. But when after that bone breaks, when it grows back, that bone is stronger than it was before. You guys get what I'm saying? Like sometimes your bones have to break. You have to go, like we have to go through the problems and struggles in order for us to be able to like have the strength to be able and to gain the momentum for us to achieve our purpose. Like, does this make sense? Is this hitting home for anybody? Like just throw some hearts up on the screen, share the video or comment and like, let's talk about it. Because that's something that's really been heavy on my heart. And it's like, I don't know what it is. Over the past couple of days, I've just been overwhelmed by this sense of peace, like this sense of grace and just having understanding around that concept. that like, yeah, life isn't always going to be picture perfect. Yes, we're going to go through obstacles. Yes, I'm going to sin. Yes, I'm going to make mistakes. Yes, I'm going to trip and fall. Yes, I'm going to screw up. But like, that's the beauty of the journey. And it's like, don't ever get to a point where you're praying for the problems to necessarily go away, because that problem may be the one thing that's getting you closer to your purpose. That problem may be the one thing that's the stepping stone or the building block for you to actualize whatever it is that like God has for you to ultimately achieve. So I think sometimes we just want things to be easy in life. And I'm not saying that I always pray to move forward on a smooth path, but like sometimes, you know, we too quickly try to cast away our problems and struggles without taking the moment to truly understand why the problem is here in the first place. So you know, we allow the fear of those problems and the pain of those problems to be the distraction for us. So I think, you know, kind of like an action item or a growth assignment that I invite you guys to do. I actually shared this with my Goal Getter Elite, my mastermind clients this morning. But I invite you guys to do the same thing, is really like pull out a sheet of paper. And I want you to like make a to-do list of all of your fears. All of your fears. And I'm like deep sighing because I told my Goal Getter Elite ladies I was going to do this with them. And you don't have to do it, but I invite you to do it. We're going into 2018, and I am committed to having radical transformation next year. I am committed to having a breakthrough year in my life personally, in my life financially, in my life emotionally. I am committed to having a breakthrough 2018. But in order for me to have a breakthrough 2018, I need to make sure that I'm not allowing the pains and struggles and the fears that I'm currently experiencing distract me from whatever my purpose is. But more so, how can I leverage those things to actually help me gain momentum and start making and experiencing this radical transformation? So one thing I'm doing first and foremost is hosting a workshop on Sunday called Breakthrough 2018 Virtual Workshop. It's at 3 p.m. where I'm going to be sharing with all of you. Over 85 people have registered. Like, I'm just like, how can we get to 100? I had no idea so many people would be interested in signing up for this. But over 85 people have registered. My goal now is like, let's get to 100 people. Like, who else is out there that's committed to having radical transformation next year? Who else is out there that's committed to having a breakthrough 2018? Like, I want to support you, and I want to be a part of your process on helping you realize and actualize that, because we are not here to allow the struggles and the pains of our shortcomings to be the thing that distracts us from the purpose that we have. So the growth assignment that I would love for you guys to do, I'm doing it. Like I said, I have my Goal Getter Elite Mastermind students. I talked to them about this morning. They're doing it with me. I invite you to join us. Is make a to-do list of all of your fears. So first question you got to ask yourself is, what would a breakthrough 2018 look like for you? What is a breakthrough 2018 for you? Maybe it's you putting a down payment on your dream home. Maybe a breakthrough 2018 is you becoming a full-time entrepreneur. Maybe a breakthrough for you in 2018 is like, I don't know, like pop in the comments, like what for you is a breakthrough 2018? You know, maybe it's you want to hit your first 6 figures in business. Maybe a breakthrough 2018 for you like is getting your first 1,000 email subscribers. Like, what would qualify as a breakthrough 2018 for you? And just pop in the comments. I really, really want to know. I'm on a mission for mental health as an entrepreneur. That is huge. That is huge. And Latasha said, for most of us, storms are followed by a breakthrough. I said this on the other Facebook Live the other day. In order for anything to grow, it must first rain. And normally the rain is the storm. And it's uncomfortable and it's not ideal and it sucks. But in order for anything to go, it must rain first. So that rain is required. Oh gosh, you guys are saying a bunch of stuff and I can't. Oh, you guys, okay. Oh, there's so many comments. 100 members in my subscription group, 6 figures. Rosanna said she's signing up today. Yes. Ola said y'all better register for the breakthrough. Yes. But whatever your breakthrough is, identify what does a breakthrough 2018 mean to you? And then I want you to ask yourself, if you were committed to having that happen, if you were committed to manifesting and creating that breakthrough 2018, what things scare the bejeebies out of you? What fears, worries, or doubts do you have about experiencing that breakthrough 2018? And then I want you to write down every single fear on a piece of paper. Every single fear that you have. So what would be required for you to have a breakthrough 2018? And if you were committed to actually experiencing that breakthrough of 2018, what fears or what would you need to do? What on that list scares you about actually making that breakthrough happen? And then everything on that list now becomes your to-do list. And before the end of the year, I want you to get in radical action and start marking things off of that to-do list. So basically, I want you to create a to-do list of all of your fears and then actually start going out and like doing those things on that to-do list before the end of the year. Like, we're getting in momentum and getting in action now, not waiting for next year, not waiting for a new day. Like, you can wait for one day, or today can be that day. Today can be day one. And I'm sighing because it's scary. And sometimes it's like, well, I have these problems. Like, for me, I'll share mine with you guys because I don't mind sharing mine. Some of you guys are being vulnerable and sharing yours with me. But a breakthrough 2018 for me would be make $500,000. And even saying that is like, ooh, make $500,000. I want to make $500,000. That would be a breakthrough 2018. Like, that would be like, good God Almighty. So breakthrough 2018 for me would make 500 grand, be a $500,000. But then it's like, okay, what would need to be true if I were committed to actually making $500,000 next year? And it's like, I would need to hire a team. I would need to actually get rid of some of my services so I can better leverage my time and actually serve my clients more effectively. I would need to I would need to start taking better care of my body, eating healthier, working out more consistently, taking more vacations, creating more space in my world to just pause and be present. Like, those are things that come up for me on my list. And I start writing down those things on my list. You know, it's like, I need to probably actually get rid of old content that is a distraction on my website. So I need to actually rebrand. That's something else I need to do. I need to rebrand. But that's really not a huge priority. Like, it is, but it's not. But there's things that come up that are like, I've known that I need to do them for a while, but like, fear is holding me back. My current struggle distracts me from it. Because I'm like, oh, I can't hire yet. I don't have everything in place, like blah, 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 blah. But who do you need to become in order for you to have that breakthrough experience? How would somebody who makes $500,000 show up in the world? They would probably, somebody who makes $500,000 a year, they would have a squad. They would have somebody probably like taking care of their home, cleaning their apartment. They'd probably have somebody, they probably would have at least one or two like 20-hour-a-week contractors on their team. They would probably be super intentional about their health care and taking care of their fitness and eating better and eating cleaner and like having a more plant-based life. Somebody who makes $500,000 a year like would be comfortable saying no more often. Somebody making $500,000 a year would be leveraging their time more effectively. You guys get what I'm saying? And these are all like fears and things like that, you know, like to make that happen. Latasha, I don't believe in realistic goals. She said, what do you need to make your breakthrough in 2018 realistic? I think realistic goals is bullshit. And hear me out on that. Because I think anything, I truly believe this. I truly believe that any vision that you have, any dream that you can feel in your spirit, or that soft whisper telling you you can see it, I think any dream that you have that God has placed on you, he would not give you that vision on accident. I truly believe that. So I don't think that there's any unrealistic goals. However, we as humans, we tend to put unrealistic time frames and have unrealistic expectations around how long it will take for that goal to actualize. That is the only thing that I think is unrealistic sometimes that we do, is we put unrealistic time frames around or have unrealistic expectations around actually creating whatever that dream is. But I don't think any goal is unrealistic. Because in order, let's say I wanted to make $1 million next year. I can right now go create an income strategy to make $1 million next year. But it's going to cost me time, energy, or money. So some people out there will say, I want to make $100,000 next year, which is fine. But then they don't want to show up and create content. They don't want to hire a coach, because if you're trying to do it in a short time frame, you're going to need to, like, either you're going to spend time, or you're going to spend money, or you're going to spend energy. And if you don't have any money to spend, you're going to be spending a shit ton of time trying to figure out how to do that on your own, rather than, like, you could be joining a coaching program or hiring somebody to help you expedite your knowledge, help you expedite the learning process, and then somebody to help coach you along the way so you can expedite your results. So there's no goal that's unrealistic. Like, if I wanted to make $1 million next year, I probably would need to spend about $250,000 in Facebook ads. Because my current audience, I don't think my current audience as it stands is substantial enough for me to hit $1 million. I would need more people to see my offer. I would need to sell more of my products. I would, like, you can create a strategy. So then it's like, make better choices. Like, do you want to take the time to try to figure out how to build your business or do whatever it is on your own? Which you can do. It's going to just take you longer for you to get your result usually, because you're sifting through all this free content online. You're trying to decipher if this blog post is giving you the right answer, or if that webinar was giving you the right answer, or if that podcast episode was giving you the right answer. And you're so caught up in just trying to decipher the overwhelm of information online that you never actually get in motion. Versus, like, go hire somebody who's already been along the journey that you're on and surround yourself with the right people. So then, like, they give you a game plan. All you have to do is just go execute. So does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, Latasha, because I don't believe in unrealistic goals. I believe in unrealistic expectation around what is going to be required to achieve that goal. And sometimes we set goals without, and this is why we're doing the Breakthrough 2018 workshop, is people will set a goal and then, like, leave it. How are you going to get there? You don't just say, oh, I want to go on vacation next year, and then just miraculously think you're going to show up on vacation somewhere. No, you got to make a game plan. How much money do you need to have? Like, even just developing a strategy to help you understand what is a potential roadmap to help you get to that end destination. And then now that you have the roadmap to get you there, what resources do you need to apply to that strategy to actually, like, go implement that strategy? Crystal clear. Okay, girl, yes. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense. So I don't believe in unrealistic goals. I don't. But I believe that most of us lack the patience and understanding the timeline associated with achieving that goal. And a lot of us are completely ignorant to what's really required to make that goal happen. Because a lot of the time we set the goal, but we don't have a strategy. We set the goal, but we don't have an action plan. We set the goal, but we don't actually go execute and get in motion. And then your goal never happens. And then it was like, oh, I had these unrealistic goals. That wasn't possible to achieve. No, that wasn't the case. You just try to do it by yourself, wondering why you weren't getting anywhere. Because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Which there's nothing wrong. We all need help. We all need support. But most of us, a lot of the time, we all will get caught up in, like, let's say, like, for me, when I started getting real momentum, I hired my first business coach. But hiring my first business coach was really hard because she was like $4,500. And I had, up until that point in my business, I had made like $5,000. And I'm like, what you mean you cost $4,500? Like, what? And you can't get so fixated on the upfront cost, because it's like, you can, Jay, you're smart enough to go figure it out on your own. But, like, it took her 7 years to get to a space where she was making multiple 6 figures a year in her business. Do you want to wait 7 years to figure out how to make your first 6 figures? Fuck no. I'll drop $4,500 and on my first business coach to help teach me the game so I can expedite and accelerate my success. Y'all get what I'm saying? So there's trade-offs. Like, a lot, what I did getting to 6 figures in less than 12 months is not normal. But I put in the time, energy, and money so I could experience it on a quicker time frame. Does that make sense? So I hope that resonates. I know I spent a lot of time on that, but I'm really big about, I don't believe in setting realistic goals. I do set goals that are good, better, best. I do like to set like 3 tiers of goals. But anything is realistic if you're willing to do the work required to make it happen, or spend the money required to make it happen. Get the right people on your team to make it happen. Anything is possible. So yeah, good question though. So biggest thing here, like I invite you guys, one, to like join me for the Breakthrough 2018 virtual workshop taking place this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you do purchase your ticket, you get access to a few things. So one, you get access to join me live for the workshop, which we're gonna have a live Q&A session at the end, so you can ask whatever questions that you want, like real time. 2, you get access to the video recording replay, which I will be selling this replay after the workshop, and I will be selling it for a higher price point. But the reason why it's $27 and only $27 now is like, I want everybody to have access to this. Like, so many of you guys have poured into me over the past year and actually helping me realize my purpose and live in my purpose. Like, I wanted to give back and do it at a way that was affordable for anybody to take advantage of this opportunity. So that's, but I know that I'm completely underpricing what this workshop is going to be. $27, like, it's like nothing for what you guys are going to be getting. So, and I know that, and it's like, I just want this to be accessible. I kind of, you guys were hitting me up in my DM saying you wanted this. So I'm like, well, let me do it and make it available for as many people like who are serious and want to have a Breakthrough 2018. So you'll get access to the recording of the workshop if you can't join live or if you want to rewatch it later. And then you also get access to the Boss Business Blueprint. And the Boss Business Blueprint is a 100-page like strategy workbook that I use with my clients. I use personally. Normally the workbook is it sells for $39, and you guys get that bonus too. So like, it's ridiculous what you guys are getting for 27 bucks, but I'm just in, tis the holiday season to give and to share. But the assignment that I invite you guys to do with me after you guys get access to the workshop and get the Breakthrough 2018 workshop and register for that is what is a Breakthrough 2018 for you? And pop it in the comments, use hashtag Breakthrough 2018 so we can like keep track and keep up with you. But then like, who do you need to become? What needs to be true in order for you to actually make that breakthrough happen in 2018? And write down all those things on a list. And now that list needs to become your to-do list. And getting radical motion and getting radical action and making it happen. So super, super excited for Sunday. Like I said, we have over 85 people who've registered. It'd be so cool to get 100 people signed up. Like, how baller would that be? 100 people committed to having a Breakthrough 2018. So if you've already signed up, like, tell your business bestie, invite your friend who you think needs to be there. If you have a girlfriend, a cousin, a brother, a sister, your mama, your grandma, I don't care who, if you think that they need to be there and that you really believe that, like, maybe you see in them what they don't see in themselves, share this video with them or share the link with them so they can join with you. So you both can experience a breakthrough in next year. And you guys have until Sunday to get your tickets. If you get it now, though, you can start actually working through the workbook before our workshop. So then that will prepare you to ask better questions and to actually apply and implement more of what we're going to be learning on Sunday real time. So I highly recommend you get it early so you can start actually working through the workbook. But I will talk to you guys soon. Biggest thing I want to leave you with is don't let the pain of your problems distract you from your purpose. Okay? And I will talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.